Hey there, and welcome to a new episode of the Dietitian Success Podcast. So, today's episode, if you are on our email list or you follow us on social media, you've probably seen us talk about this legacy launch, what we're calling our legacy launch, which runs from now until November 22nd. So, in this episode, I want to talk a little bit about the behind the scenes. So, why are we doing this? What is this? What is important for you to know if you're not a member currently? And what's important for you to know if you are a member currently, and what is coming up, what you can expect from us in 2025. And I hope that through this episode, you can also get some ideas for how to think about running your own launches in your business. I'm going to talk a little bit about pricing and value and how we ensure that our prices accurately reflect our value. So that's going to be one of the outcomes of this podcast episode. I'm going to cover a lot of things. And so this is not just going to be a promotional episode. I promise you, this is an education episode as well. And so let's dive in. I have so much that I want to cover. So, as you may have heard, we are running what we call our legacy launch. It's running from now until November 22nd, 2024, just depending on when you are listening to this episode. Now, what this essentially means is that after November 22nd, 2024, there's going to be a lot of changes coming to Dietitian Success Center. And the biggest change, or the reason why we're doing this launch, is because our pricing is actually going to be changing. But this doesn't apply to you if you're a current member or if you join before November 22nd. So if you're a current member or you join before November 22nd, your prices are locked in so long as you keep your membership active. So what's really cool is that essentially if you join before November 22nd or you're a current member and your membership stays active, you get to benefit from all of the added value we're going to be bringing in 2025 and beyond for the current rate that you're paying, as opposed to what the new rates are going to be, which we actually really haven't landed on the exact number yet. Because it's not going to be, we're not going to be launching that until 2025. So we're going to have a little bit of like a period between November 22nd and the start of 2025 where we're actually not bringing new members into Dietitian Success Center. There's going to be a reason for that, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is going to be kind of like the last deadline to join. And then in November 2025, we're going to be updating a lot of things. So like I said, one of those being the pricing, and I'll talk about why in a little bit, why we're doing that, why we're changing our pricing. So yeah, this is a great time to be able to benefit from everything that we're going to be adding for the same rate. And so if you've been thinking about joining, now is a good time to do it. And I'll talk more about what you can expect from us in 2025. Okay, so let's start by talking about some updates that are coming to Dietitian Success Center, what we are changing, what we're updating, what you can expect from us in terms of added value. So first things first is continuing to add to our library like we do right now. So you can continue to expect that we'll have new content released every month. When we looked back over the last, I think it was year that Maria looked at, we release on average 13 new pieces of material per month. Whoa, that's a lot. So that might be new handouts, that could be translated handouts, that could be a new video course, new evidence summaries, whatever that might be. So we continue to release new content all the time. And we continue to update our content all the time so you know that you're getting the most up-to-date material. And this is always based on, we prioritize based on our member requests. So we have had a lot of requests for new content and new content topics. And so some of the ones that we know for sure are going to be coming in 2025, there's going to be others as well, but we're just still in the process of prioritizing. We are going to be expanding our pediatrics content. We're going to be covering some more clinical topics, things like malnutrition and general surgery. We're going to be adding to our case studies to make them more robust. So right now, all of our video courses come with nutrition case studies as well. But we are going to be, we're going to be incorporating more counseling specific material into those case studies. So getting more into not just the nutrition therapy, but how would you actually work with this patient or client? Like, what are some of the questions that you could ask? How do we incorporate motivational interviewing into this scenario? Allergens, we've had a lot of requests for. Before the end of this year, we're doing a big expansion on our intuitive eating toolkit as well, knowing that that is a very important topic for a lot of our members. So that is coming. The other really cool thing that we're going to be offering in 2025 is more in depth, more robust professional development. So we know how important advocacy is for dietitians and for our community and for advancing the profession. And one of our core beliefs is that part of advocacy and part of advancing our profession starts with us and building up certain skills that we perhaps have not gotten in other areas of education. So, thinking things like confidence, like career progression, like public speaking, those sort of skills that go such a long way in terms of enhancing and developing the overall profile of dietitians, but you may not have had any formal training or skill development in that area. So we're really excited to start bringing more of that professional content to you as well. One of the really exciting things that we're doing is we're actually going to be transitioning over to a new tech platform. So, a new platform for Dietitian Success Center. This is for a lot of reasons, and I think that this deserves its own total podcast episode to really talk about the why. But for the purpose of this episode, what I really just want to communicate is that it's going to be faster and easier to find the content that you need, more searchable. We have this vision that DSC really acts like your supportive dietitian practice partner, meaning when you are working with, like, in that moment, when you're actually working with a patient or client and they ask you about something that you maybe don't know about. So let's say they ask you about a supplement or something like that. You can type it into the DSC search bar and the key messages will pop up for you. That's really our vision. That's what we really want to achieve. In addition to just making it faster and easier for you to find all of the hundreds of handouts that we have and the video courses that we have and all of that good stuff. So that is really exciting. That is something we're actively working on in the background right now. We're working with a company to do this. So this is something that we have invested super heavily in, and we're very excited about it. So that's going to be coming out in 2025, at the very beginning of 2025. Um, if you're a business member or if you're thinking about joining the business membership, we are actually going through a complete re-record of all of the business content. So we're going to be updating absolutely everything to reflect what is working now. And in 2025, we're going to be adding some more specific topics that we've had success with over the last year. So one example of that is I'm going to be recording a video about our YouTube strategy and how you can actually start a YouTube channel today and you don't need many subscribers in order to start actually channeling people to your business with just a few strategic videos. You don't even need to contribute videos every single day or every single week in order to be successful. So I want to record a video on that. There's just a lot of additions that we want to make to that library. And so that is all going to be re-recorded. Now, one important thing to note, if you are not a member with us, is that after November 22nd, we are actually not going to be accepting new members into the business membership. There are multiple reasons for this, and this is something that I'll talk more about in future episodes, but it really comes down to the idea and the fact that we really want to focus our offering on the core nutrition membership. One thing you may have noted in your business is that trying to promote too many things becomes really, really difficult. And it's so important from a branding perspective to really hone in on a main thing and become known for a main thing. And for us, that is our nutrition membership. And so obviously, the business membership, just want to say the business membership will still be available to everyone who is currently in the business membership and who enrolls before November 22nd. But what I'm saying is that after November 22nd, we're not accepting new members into the business membership. So we're going to have a different business program, but the structure of it is going to be completely different. We haven't fully ironed that out yet. We're actually doing informational interviews with private practice dietitians over the next little while to really understand what the need is and how we want to structure that new programming. But the important thing for you to know is that if you've wanted to join the business membership, now is the time to do it, because you're going to benefit from all of the new content, all of the updated content that we record. We have the video ask feature, which is so cool. It's basically where you can submit a video or an audio question to our team directly. And either myself, Maria, or Olivia will respond back to you, just depending on who's the best fit for that question. And so it's that ability to get one-on-one business support and business coaching without the price tag of one-on-one business coaching. So this is all something you can get within the business tier of the membership. But again, we're not going to be offering this after November 22nd. And so yeah, just kind of going back to that idea, that's been something that it's been something I've struggled with as a business owner for a long time, is really trying to adequately promote two things at the same time. Because if you go onto our membership sales page, you'll notice that for the most part, I would say we were heavier on promoting the nutrition membership, but then we also have to try and sell the business membership at the same time. And it's just too difficult to do both because the messaging ends up getting less specific and consequently more convoluted. And so that's always why I encourage people in their business to really focus on the one thing, because I know from experience how difficult it is to have multiple things that you're trying to promote at the same time. And so this is a big change that we're going to be making. And this was a really hard decision because business is so near and dear to my heart. I love talking about business stuff, but it's also an opportunity for me to be able to do that in a different way, which I'm really excited about. Honestly, I'm really excited about that. And so, yeah, so that is something that is going to be a big change from November 22nd onwards. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about the why. Like, why is this all happening right now? And so what really prompted this, just to give you some backstory, what really prompted this is that over the last few months, we really did start to explore. We're kind of always exploring, like, what is the best tech solution for what we need. That's just something that we feel like there's always new innovations, and we want to make sure that we're staying on top of the latest and greatest and the best option. So we never feel like we are, like, done with this, because it's so important to me and it's important to our team to deliver the best experience possible. And so until we get to that point, we never feel like we're done. Now, obviously, I think our website is great right now. It works fine. Like, it's great. People use it every single day. They find what they need to find. But I just think that there's so much more we could be doing. There's so much more innovation we could be doing. And so we've landed on a tech solution that is going to give us that. And as part of this process, as part of this exploration of the new tech solution, it's really forced us to ask ourselves the question of, like, okay, well then if we're going to be switching to a new site, how else are we going to be changing? Like, this is the opportunity to make some of those big changes that maybe I've been thinking about, but it's never been the right time or have been hesitant to do it. Like, now is the time. And so we've been working with, as part of this, as part of the company that we're working with to develop our new site, we've had strategy conversations with them. And one of the exercises that they had us go through, which I would highly recommend doing yourself because it was such an eye-opener for me, was to calculate the true value of what you offer and to ensure that the price that you are charging accurately reflects the true value that you're offering. And so how do you actually do that? Okay, so what we did, and we did this exercise mainly for our nutrition membership since that is our focal point. So I want to talk about that piece first. What we did is we looked at each piece of content that we create. So for example, or each category of content rather that we create. So our client handouts, our video courses, we have our evidence summaries, and we quantified if a dietitian was to do that on their own, if they were to create a client handout on their own, how much time would that save them? And then also looking at, because there's other sites that sell things like handouts for other topics, not necessarily even nutrition. Like if we're looking at other medical fields, we can look and see like what are other going rates for things like client handouts, and we can actually quantify, okay, well, if the going rate is this, and then what is the value that we offer? So you can quantify um, from a dollars perspective, but then also from a time saved perspective. So when we looked at something like our client handouts, for example, at the time we did this calculation, we had 304 client handouts, and that's not including our translated ones, because some of our handouts are translated to French and Spanish. But just our English client handouts, um, we calculated that if somebody was to create those by themselves, they would be spending close to 1,200 hours doing that. 1,200 hours, which is a lot of hours. So that was fascinating and very eye-opening. If we look at our video courses, if somebody were to, the way that we quantified that is we looked at like what is typically the going rate for a one-off video course for a specific nutrition-related topic. And given the fact that we have 37 video courses, that equates to be around $10,000 that somebody would save by being a DSC member versus purchasing one-off courses. If you look at our evidence summaries, it takes us about 80 hours to create an evidence summary. 80 hours. So given that we have 50 evidence summaries, that's about 4,000 hours total saved, and so on and so on. So that is how we worked on quantifying the value of what we offer, and that's only the nutrition piece. It's not even considered the business component, which, I mean, the business component, like the value there is even higher because we're teaching people how to make more money. So there is a very direct correlation or a very direct ability to quantify that exchange of value, right? Like if you're paying for an annual DSC membership, business membership, right now that's $540 a year. Well, within that year of your practice, we're giving you the tools to know how to bring in however many clients you're able to over the course of a year. Like you would pay that $540 back within 2 to 5 clients, 2 to 4 clients even. So there's a very clear return on investment there. That's a lot easier to quantify. But anyways, all this to say, and basically the take-home message here is that pricing reflects value. And though that has been our strategy to date, by pricing the membership low so that we could get as many people in as possible so that we could really test and figure out what works, what our audience wants, what our audience needs, what dietitians really need. And part of that is having a big volume of people to be able to give you feedback And so that's been part of the strategy. That was a very important part of the strategy. But now that we have more answers on that and more clarity on like what are we offering, it's really time to make sure that our pricing reflects our value. And the other important thing too is that by ensuring that we're charging appropriately, we are able to really invest in the things that we know you want and we know you need. And that is really exciting for us. And it's such an opportunity for us to be able to continue to innovate and build solutions and offer solutions. And so that is really, really, really exciting. So, of course, this is always it's always a hard decision to make. And I think you will always lose sleep over any time you need to make these big, hard decisions in business, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to make those big, hard decisions. And it's such a reminder that we always need to be innovating. We always need to be adapting in business. The way that things worked 3 years ago are not how things work today because the world changes so quickly and needs change, audiences change, the options people have available to them change. So we need to change with that. And this is a big part of that change. Okay, so those are really the big pieces that I wanted to communicate in this episode. The updates that are coming, so the things you can expect from us in 2025 and beyond, why we are going to be changing pricing after November 22nd, 2024, why you want to join us before then, how if you join us before then and if you are a current member, your pricing is locked in, so you will not have any pricing changes, but you will still be able to benefit from all of the amazing value that we offer, which we quantified to be about 20,000 hours of value that you get with the nutrition content that we offer. 20,000 hours of time saved so you don't have to do this work yourself. We do it for you. Um, and the fact that after November 22nd, we aren't going to be offering the business membership anymore. So if this is something that you want to join, do it before that because you're still going to like we're updating all the content. We're still delivering to all of our people in the business membership. So it's very much the membership is alive and well, and it is going to be continuing to flow and develop and all of these amazing things. We're just not going to be adding more members to it after November 22nd. We're going to be completely changing how we structure new business programming in the future. And by the way, and I think the number is actually more than this, but I know like in the business membership, we've helped over 500 dietitians start and grow businesses. Over 500. So it is truly the tried and tested business curriculum for dietitians. It really is. And we're only going to be making it better in the new year, which I'm really excited about. If you're a current member, we have this really fun sharing challenge that we're going to be doing right now. And I have to just say that I have to say the most sincere thank you to those of you that have shared about Dietitian Success Center with your dietitian friends and colleagues or on social media or in dietitian Facebook groups, because honestly, I've said this before, but that is the best way for DSC to find new people is from you telling people about DSC. And so we so appreciate that. And we want to reward sharing over the next 30 days by running this really fun sharing challenge for our current members. So what we've done is we've created some really cool dietitian merch, which you can go onto our Instagram and check out the merch that we're going to be offering. We created this really fun I Heart Food canvas washable lunch bag, a hardcover lined notebook that says dietitian on the front, a mug that says I Heart Veggies is really cute, and then an office poster, an 11 by 14-inch office poster with all these really cute images of fruits and vegetables. And so basically what is involved in this challenge is you can win these for free as you share Dietitian Success Center. And actually not win, you can earn these for free. So what this means is that every time you share a Dietitian Success Center, you get points. Once you accumulate 10 points, we will send you whichever gift that you want for free. Um, and so when you share DSC with an individual dietitian non-member, you get 1 point. When you share with a group, you get 3 points. And again, once you accumulate 10 points, then we will send you one of these prizes. So you do have to you do have to submit proof that you've done this share. And so in your inbox, you will see instructions for how to participate. I will also, I'm just trying to think if it makes sense to include instructions in the description of this episode. Yeah, I'll include the instructions in the description of this episode. This challenge is only open to current members, so not if you are not a member yet. This is not open to you, but if you join today, then this is open to you. So we have a form that you have to submit where you just take a screenshot of basically proof that you've shared, and then we will tabulate your points for you. It will add up your points for you, and then once you receive 10 points, you can choose which prize that you want. And the challenge deadline is November 22nd at 5 p.m. Eastern. So very excited about this fun challenge. And yeah, we just so appreciate it. And I think, I think one of the most impactful ways that we've seen DSC being shared is through some of the dietitian Facebook groups when some of our members go on and just like talk about their experience with DSC. You have to make sure you follow the group rules. There's a lot of groups that you can freely promote whenever, but there's some that you can't. So make sure you follow the group rules because you don't want to get kicked out of the group for promoting. But if you are able to share about us, we so appreciate that. It means so much to us. And again, it helps to spread the word about the work that we're doing. And so we really appreciate you for that. And you can get points if you do that and receive one of these awesome gifts for free. Okay, so I want to just wrap up with some closing notes, just about key takeaways, things to think about for you and your business. I said this earlier, but don't be afraid to transform and make big decisions and big changes. Our businesses need to be constantly changing and adapting to the environment, to the landscape, to what people's needs are today. And that's part of the fun journey of it, right? Is just being open to that ability to innovate. That's one of the funnest things about being an entrepreneur, in my opinion. Calculate the value that you offer and ensure that your prices actually reflect your value. And then lastly is don't be afraid to lean into your community and tap into your amazing community to help support you. There's just so much value in community and in coming together to work together to further a purpose. And that is really what I see with dietitians and what I want for dietitians. I think that as dietitians, like we have so much untapped potential. Dietitians are some of the most incredible people, some of the smartest people. If you want something done right, hire a dietitian. Like that's honestly what I say because they're amazing. And we just really want to continue to elevate the profession and that is our deeper purpose. That is why we do the work that we do, is to elevate the profession and to make sure that everyone knows about dietitians and why dietitians are the nutrition experts and why you should hire dietitians and the value that dietitians offer. And so that is the quest that we are on. And when you purchase a membership with us, that is the cause that you are supporting. And so we so appreciate that. We know that there are a lot of things competing for your dollars and for your attention. And just know that we're so grateful for every one of you who chooses to be a member or who just takes time out of their day to listen to this podcast or read one of our blog posts or whatever, or share about us. We're just really grateful for you. So On that note, I'm feeling sentimental because this is just a really big transformation for us and for me, honestly, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. So thank you for being along for the ride. Thanks for listening to this episode. I'm recording this as a video too, so you can watch it on YouTube as well. But that's it for me today. I hope you have an awesome week. If you ever have any questions about any of this, just shoot us a message. My email is krista@dietitiansuccesscenter.com. Maria is hello@dietitiansuccesscenter.com. Or there's the contact form on our website that you can always fill in and you'll reach us very quickly. Okay. Thank you for your time.